Season 1, Chapter 7, Italian Grand Prix. Malachi Wilson has long dreamed of racing a monster in Formula 1 and the time has arrived. Turns out the rookie has a real love for the tempo of speed. Despite appearing in Q3 for the third time this season, a strong start has quickly thrown into potential jeopardy when an unexpected fault occurs mid-race. And it's lights out and race on here in Monza. Verstappen gets the edge over Hamilton, they charge down towards the very unsafe Rettifilo. In the mid-pack, Malachi Wilson in the AlphaTauri man, very strong start. He dives to the inside of the track as they head to turn 1 and tries to go around the outside of Charles Leclerc. He will. What a great start from the rookie here in Monza. Running on board now, Sergio Perez. Oh, Malachi Wilson goes over the curb there.
He's not too clever, this guy.
Perez making his thoughts very clear. In comes Pierre Gasly now, allowing his teammates some clean air to breathe in. Most likely, he will stop on this lap. Looks like there's a problem with that car. Let's listen to the team radio here.
Okay, the DRS is stuck open. You'll have to come in so we can try and attempt to fix. Pit in for repairs.
And that could be a huge setback for Malachi Wilson. We'll have to see what he can do to somehow avoid that problem. Alright, so it looks like there's a bit of a fault on the DRS here. The rear wing flap is stuck open. We'll have to make it back to pit lane here. I managed to go all the way back around again. It hasn't damaged us too much, so hopefully we should be alright here. We might be able to repair the rear wing here. But aside from that, it's actually been a very decent start to the race. We've done quite well. Moved up from where we started in P10. And yeah, we've made really good progress. Going to the pits now, going on to a set of medium tyres, which should last us until the end of the Grand Prix. I turned the rear wing damage repair to yes, but for some reason, not quite sure what's going on here. I'm not sure if they have actually repaired the damage because there's still a thing on the rear wing on the chart showing us that it's still there. But we've got no objective now to catch up to Fernando Alonso as Pierre Gasly tries to make a move around the outside, going into turn 1. We're going to hold him off here and squeeze him out going through turn 2, so that'll be our main target. Alonso's about 2 seconds up the road here, so I reckon we definitely have a decent chance of catching him if we can just get going. But regardless, pushing on to lap number 15 now. Gasly and Perez are still right behind us there for company. Of course, we were running in front of them earlier on in the race when we hit the curb. Gasly getting close enough where we try and go for a move on the inside. No, he won't. Stays in line, and we're still around 2 seconds behind Alonso. But we're closing little bit by little bit, so we have to keep on moving. On to the end of lap number 16 now. We've closed the gap to Alonso down to 1.5 seconds, just under 1.5 seconds, and Pierre Gasly is still right behind us, so he's got the DRS on us as we go down this home straight out of Parabolica. We coming towards the line to begin lap number 17. Gasly opens up the DRS. Will he make a move? Putting over to the right hand side as we get back down towards turn 1. There he is going underneath of him, giving the space. We're going to go around the outside, braking a lot later than he does. We're going to hold on to P7, but we're still trying to catch Alonso. The gap when we go through the corners, it's about a second. But on the straights regularly is around 1.3, so we're alright for the time being. Gasly still trying to go for a move here as we go through Curva Grande and heading towards the Della Rota chicane as we move further on into the lap through the left and the right. We're definitely closing on Alonso here. We're gaining time more and more, but Gasly and Perez are still hanging us right there. He's looking to the inside, going into the first Lesmo. We're going to hold him off, going through the right-hander, nice and smooth there. And now we've got to think of Mick Schumacher's out of the race. A virtual safety car has been deployed. Not quite sure what's happened with the Haas car. Then the safety car, the full safety car has now been deployed. So with 10 laps to go, safety car's out, and this will bunch everyone up again, which is exactly what we need to catch up to Alonso here. Have a look at what's actually happened between Schumacher and our former teammate and Yuki Tsunoda. Schumacher spun out behind Tsunoda. Not quite sure there was contact there, but Schumacher's completely trashed the car there, heading down towards turn 1. So poor from our former teammate there. I hope he's okay. But regardless, we're still in this race, and this will help us bunch everyone back up again. I doubt there'll be any pit stops here. We're going towards the end of the safety car period now. Safety car's about to come in. We're running just behind Fernando Alonso. I reckon there's definitely a good chance of us scoring a decent finish here. We'll go to the inside to make sure we're ready to try and get past him when we hit the green flag. Prepare to resume racing again. Here we go. This is where it gets interesting. Green flag back out here. Objective to finish the race 6th or above. That's right where we are. Gasly is falling back a bit. We're going to try and go to the inside of Fernando Alonso. Head down towards turn 1. We're on the right hand side. We're going to try and dance to the inside of Hamilton if we can. We do. We've got Giovinazzi as well. There's maybe a little bit of contact. There's caught the yellow flags out already. Not quite sure what's happened behind us. It definitely wasn't us, that's for sure. We managed to get past these two cleanly. And that's us up into P4. So what a restart we've had as we head through Curva Grande. The yellow flags are out and the green now it's the green flag. Not quite sure what's happened there. But hopefully that's what we're good. We've got one of the Williams cars slowing down by the looks of it. Not sure which one of them it'll be as we head through the Del Roger chicane. George Russell is out of the race. Not quite sure what's happened to him though. Let's take a look at this replay and see what's happened. I think he must have hit one of the Alfa Romeos in the back because he's lost his, what looks to be, we might have lost his front wing there. contact with the Aston Martin as well, and yep, his rear wing is completely gone. I'm not sure if that's done anything internally on the car, because there's no smoke coming out of it, but for some reason he's out of the race. I'm pretty sure a damaged front wing wouldn't be the worst thing to happen to someone, so it's definitely a mechanical failure. But regardless, Russell out of the race, so we're down to just 18 runners in this Italian Grand Prix. Moving on to it's on lap 20 here, and we're running just in front of Antonio Giovinazzi. Luckily for us, the DRS isn't enabled yet, but if it was and we were behind, we wouldn't actually be able to use much of it, because I'm not even sure if we fixed the fault or not during that pit stop. I'm not entirely sure what's happened. We'll have to see if we do get DRS later on. Giovinazzi moves to the left, trying to make a move, doesn't quite get close enough, so he has to fall back into line. We head through Ascari here. Giovinazzi's backed off on the exit of Ascari, so we're now over half a second in front, but that won't last for too long. The green flags gone back out. Not quite sure what happened. Esteban Ocon's out of the session, so another DNF here. We're down to 17 runners in this Italian Grand Prix. So let's have a look at what's happened to Ocon. It definitely it must be another potentially mechanical failure, because there definitely can't have been much of a crash back here. There's been a lot of smoke on the Alpine there, but only briefly. I'm not quite sure what's happened to the Alpine here, but he's slowing up, and that looks to be the end of his race. There he goes. Now in the back of the pack, race over for the Frenchman. Even more smoke there. Not entirely sure what's happened as the Haas and one of the Williams cars go through. Regardless, on to the start of lap number 22, and now we've got problems on our own. It's not all we're wanting here, because the DRS is now enabled again, which means Giovinazzi will be on the charge. He's already close enough to us without the DRS, and now with it, he'll be a real force to contend with in these last couple of laps, while we still continue to chase the top three. Verstappen and Bottas going for the lead, while Norris trying to pick up the scraps behind them. The DRS will be open for Giovinazzi here, as we head down towards Ascari once again here on the 22nd lap. Will he get close enough to go for a move this time? He's definitely closing in, gaining all the time. To head down towards the left-hander. He's not close enough, fortunately, but he'll definitely be right there on the exit unless he backs off again, which I doubt he will. He's still right there behind us as we scream down towards Parabolica here for the 22nd time in this Italian Grand Prix. Down towards this last corner, Giovinazzi's closing in. He pulls to the right-hand side. Will he have enough to try and pull off a move? We're going to try and squeeze him if we can. No damage done. We were already just in front of him, so we were clear of him going into the corner. So we're all okay for the time being, but Giovinazzi hasn't backed off enough. He's still there right behind us. Here we go then. Round number 3. Giovinazzi on the DRS as they head down the home straight and back towards turn 1. Will he make a move? We're going to give him the space on the left-hand side as Bottas takes the lead from Verstappen going into the first corner. We've fallen down to 5th place, but now back up into 4th. We are still continuing to pass our objective of 6th or above. Right now we're just racing for pride against Antonio Giovinazzi. So pushing on now, further on into the race to lap number 25. Giovinazzi still just behind us here, and Lewis Hamilton, you've got Lewis Hamilton the company behind him, so he may be able to pass us both in these late stages of the race, but we're just trying to finish in 4th here if we can. Giovinazzi's getting closer and closer. He's pulling to the left hand side, going to block him off, and he goes to the right, we'll block him off there as well. So decent moves from us as we head back down through Ascari once again, heading towards Parabolica. A bit loose on the exit there. Giovinazzi's going to use that to try and get a better run, and he does. Look how quickly he's going down the straight. He's got way more speed than us. Once again on the right hand side as we head through Parabolica. Once again we get up in front of him though and squeeze him out. He's lost a bit of momentum there, so he may fall prey to Lewis Hamilton down the main straight, and he's fallen away from us. We'll definitely gain that back with the DRS now. 2 more laps to go in this Italian Grand Prix. It is in no way over. It's going to be very, very close as this race continues on. Back through to turn 1 again. It's going to be very, very close because Giovinazzi unable to get us with the DRS. He still stays behind us, about 2nd back, but move further on into the lap. We've gone way wide out of the legs, and Giovinazzi's now right back with us. Will he try and make a move? There he goes to the right hand side. We can't do anything to cover him off. There goes the McLaren through, and that it could be us in serious jeopardy here. We might not take P4 in this race. We've got to stick with the McLaren as much as we can. I'm not sure if we'll have DRS or not. I'm not sure if they've actually fixed the fault, because we haven't actually been an opportunity since the pit stop to actually use DRS since that actually happened. So we're going to have to be very, very tentative about the way we do things here on this final lap. Will we have enough to stay close to Giovinazzi with it to make the move through Parabolica we go? Will we fall prey to Lewis Hamilton or maybe to Sergio Perez, who ranges behind? We do have DRS to come down the home straight, so they did fix the issue in the end as we start the final lap, and we're going to try and use that to our advantage. We head back towards turn 1. Lewis is closing in on us. We're going to try and go for a dive on Giovinazzi if we can. He's opened up the left hand side. We're going to go right around the outside of him into turn 1. Great stuff there. We just managed to find a way through as Giovinazzi tries to sneak in the left. We're going to move to the outside slightly and try and shut him off, and we do. He potentially falls prey to Hamilton here as they run side by side. But I think we've just managed to hold him off as we head through Ascari and down towards Parabolica for the final time. Giovinazzi may get a decent tow. Will the Italian manage to get us in front of his home crowd on the last lap? Here we go now. He goes to the inside. This is it. This is where it all comes down to. We're going to squeeze him once more. He loses all his momentum, and that's all we need now to manage to come through to line. Verstappen's won the race, Bottas second, Norris third, and it's us in P4 at Monza, chapter clear. Just what we wanted to see today. It's P4. Our aim was to finish 6th or above in the end, and we did just that. It would have been great to be up there on the podium, but we can't have everything. And on a day like this, where the DRS fault could have potentially ended our race, or potentially put us way out the points, then I think we should definitely take what we've got. Verstappen wins it then from Bottas and Norris, and it's us in P4, so really good stuff. Verstappen, another victory to add to his collection, and that should help him close the gap to Lewis Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship if he can. Great window from Verstappen today. He really had to fight for it in the closing laps because he was battling with Bottas almost the whole time, and fantastic stuff from Norris to come home in P3 as well. So the rest of your order: us in 4th place, Antonio Giovinazzi in 5th, Lewis Hamilton in 6th place, Sergio Perez 7th in the other Red Bull. We've beaten Pierre Gasly, he comes home in P8 then. It's Fernando Alonso in P9, and Charles Leclerc takes the final point for Ferrari. Not the best of days for the Tifosi in the way of Ferrari, but for AlphaTauri, a great home race for us. So it is Lewis Hamilton in control then by just 1 point over Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. Bottas 3rd, Perez 4th. We're still down in 10th place. We've still got work to do to try and catch Giovinazzi, but I reckon we can definitely do it over the last few races. And with a couple more finishes like this, we could definitely catch up to Pierre Gasly in the Drivers, but it will be hard work over these last few races to really pull it off. And now we look at the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes lead by just 8 points over Red Bull, and we're still down in 5th place behind McLaren and Ferrari. Catching them is seeming like a more and more impossible task by the race, but with a couple of decent finishes we can definitely try and close the gap on them. Whether we'll beat them or not is another story. But guys, that's the end of this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to smash the like button, leave me a comment telling me what I could have improved on, and make sure to subscribe. And with that, I shall see you in my next video. So with that guys, see you later and goodbye. The DRS fault could have made things a lot harder for Malachi Wilson, but he managed to control the situation, taking home 4th place. Maybe one day he'll realise his dream of winning the Italian Grand Prix for Ferrari. Maybe one day.